everyone. I'm Shraddha, your host for today's PRINCE2 Certification Success Blueprint webinar. I'm so glad that to see you all here. Whether you are new to PRINCE2 certification or planning to move from foundation to practitioner, you have made the right choice showing up today. So we know that project management is not just a job, but it's a mindset. And with the industry, which is evolving very fast, having Prince 2 on your profile is more than needed or more than just a tick box. It's a smart career move. So now, before we start, I want to ask, what's the biggest challenge you face when preparing for the certification like Prince 2? You can drop your answers in the Q&A box. I'll be waiting for your response. And till I wait, till you respond to it, I want to introduce ourselves. At Knowlathon, we help professionals upskill with certifications which are globally recognized, like from Prince2 to PMP, ITIL, ISO standards, and many more. We have trained around 50,000 plus professionals globally. We are accredited by the leaders like PeopleCert, PMI, ISACA, EXIM, ECB, and many more. So before rather than spending more time on introducing us and all, let me introduce to our today's speaker, who is someone who has been part of 1,000+ Prince2 journeys and know exactly what it takes to crack both foundation and practitioner levels. So, please welcome Mr. Mahesh D, sir, a seasoned project management expert with 26 years of experience across IT and global delivery projects. You are in for the session which is real, relatable, result driven. So, keep your notepads ready. We are starting in 2 minutes. So, let's not wait further. Mahesh, sir, over to you.
Thank you, Shraddha. And any responses to your question on the Q&A? I would really like to understand. Not yet? Okay.
Yeah, they have not yet responded to us. Maybe in
Oh,
future they will respond to us.
no. So thank you, Shraddha, and welcome everyone. We'll be talking about how to get yourself Prince2 certified, right? And I'm making a little assumption here. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You can drop your message in the Q&A. I'm assuming that you, all of you who have joined this session, either you are the project manager or you aspire to become a project manager, and in whichever case, Prince2 will be a very right choice for you. So just to give you a little background about my relationship with Prince2, it started 20 years back in 20 years back in 2006 when I did my Prince2 Foundation for the first time, and then since then I'm a Prince2 fan, a big time Prince2 fan, and I've been renewing my certifications. I've been upgrading myself as Prince2 got upgraded from edition 6 to edition 7. And as Shraddha mentioned, I really have lost the track of count how many participants I have trained on Prince2, and they are certified. We are still in touch. I have written books uh, with the mock tests for Foundation and Practitioner for edition 6 and edition 7, which are available on Amazon. So this is about my pure love for Prince2. Okay, that's how I call it as. So let's look at this. What is this, Prince2? So I think this is what Shraddha talked about, multiple partnerships from Knowlathon. And I'm associated with Knowlathon now for more than 2 years. And it's a fantastic institution to work with, to learn from. So this is the agenda. I'm just straight away going to dive into the slide pack, and we'll talk about it. So introduction of Prince2. What is Prince2? Prince2, it has evolved. It has evolved over more than 25 years, and it was originated as project management methodology by Office of Government Commerce in UK. When earlier it used to be called as a prompt, and many of the IT projects they used to follow Prince2. Later on, the same department, OGC, you know, took it to the next level, wherein it became particular industry or sector agnostic. They made it applicable to any industry, any sector, any project. And then in the course of the time, it became Prince 2. Prince is projects in controlled environments. So this has nothing to do with the Prince of UK. It is projects in controlled environments. And 2 was the version number. So when it was launched, when it was renamed, like the prompt was renamed to Prince, and then it became Prince 2. And probably Prince 2 was the most accepted version and adopted version to multiple projects, and that's how the governing body decided to keep the name same, and then they kept on adding the versions to it. So currently, what we have is the version 7 of Prince 2, right? Uh, so this is a project management methodology. This methodology tells us, in principle, it guides us, and it gives us some very powerful techniques, very simple but very powerful techniques to repeat the successful projects. The project success, the whole purpose is it should not be a one time project success, but your project should be repeatable, and there should be the processes, there should be the methods, tools, techniques, which will assure you, which will give you a lot of confidence that yes, not only this current project, but even all my future projects also will be delivered successfully. So that is what the Prince2 methodology gives us. It is universal. So anywhere you go, somebody who is learning Prince2 in India, somebody who is learning it in UK or US or Australia, they all will be learning it as the same common methodology. It gives a common language and concept. So during the training, when I start, we start with a lot of concepts, like right from what is a product and what is a project, right, and how they are related, and then it goes on. So it gives us a lot of you know, common ground, common understanding about the terms and terminologies which we use in almost in day-to-day life. It actually improves your standing in your organization, because this is a global level, international level certification. So of course, it gives you a lot of credibility to your experience. It improves your career prospects. A globally recognized certification it is, and so someone is sitting in the lobby. I admitted that. Yeah. When applied to the entire organization, so Prince2 you can apply it to one project, two projects, to the LOB or to the portfolio, or Prince2 can be adopted at the entire organization level. So when it happens, when it gets adopted at the organization level, it increases the process maturity of your organizations to a great extent. Right? Uh, Another part or another feature I would say about Prince2 is it is a part of integrated suite of methods. Now, what is this integrated suite of methods? So presently, the ownership of Prince2 as a methodology is with Axelos, and PeopleCert is facilitating, and together they will be coming up with the next version. So they are the custodians, they are the owners presently. Now, Axelos has many other certifications, and what they call it as the best practice. So they have this best practices like ITIL, Prince2 Agile, then management of risk, then managing successful programs. These are some of their best practices, and then there are multiple certifications available for all of these best practices, as what we have for Prince2. So these practices also have the certification. Now, these certifications, they don't work in silos. For example, there is a theme or a practice in Prince2 which is called as risk, which talks about the risk management at the project level. Now, this directly relates to, or this directly comes from the MOR, management of risk, which is another best practice, and for which there are another foundation practitioner certifications available. In ITIL, when it is about the project management practice, it is mentioned that yes, you can use Prince2 or any other methodologies like agile or lean. But then yes, so Prince2 is mapped or is aligned with ITIL. Prince2 comes from MOR, and there is this whole integrated way or integrated suite of best practices which Axelos comes up with. The best part of Prince2, what I like it is very flexible. So I have applied Prince2 for some activities, set of activities, some projects which were so small, like they got over within a week's time. And at the same time, I have applied these practices in the entire Prince2 for the projects which went on for more than 6 months. Right. So irrespective of the size, the scope, the time scales, the complexity of the different projects from different industries, you you will be able to apply Prince to it. So now imagine you have the entire uh, globe as your playground to deliver the project successfully using Prince 2. Right. So let's look at the structure of Prince2, how Prince2 is formed. So Prince2 is based on these five integrated elements. What you see on the left hand side, these are the five integrated elements, and Prince2 is based on it. So Prince2 says people who are the stakeholders of your project, they are at the core, they are at the center of your project execution. Right? So you must understand people, you must be able to lead your teams, you must be able to do the entire people development, people empowerment through your project. And Prince2 gives us the techniques, the methods for doing the same. Second thing is it has, or the second element it has, is the project context. For every project, the context, the background, the purpose will differ. Right? And Prince2 tells us to take this context into consideration. So what we do for a 6 months running project or for a multi-million project, we don't do the same processes, we don't do the same level of documentation, or we don't do the same level of cadences for a project which is going to get over within 2 weeks. Right? So Prince2 tells us to understand the context. It gives us five key contexts which we should be taking into consideration when we are managing a project, and then plan your project and execute your project. So the context, the background, the purpose, the reason of the project is one of the five key elements, or the five foundational elements of Prince2. Then what we have is a set of principles, seven principles, seven practices to follow these principles, and seven processes to put these practices into action. So these are the 23, I would say, parts of five elements. And if you particularly look at the arrows, the depiction, it tells us a lot. If you look at these arrows, they are two-headed, double-headed, right? Every arrow, and then every element is related to, is connected to the other element, right? What does this tell us? This is they have drawn the picture in this way for a reason. Okay, this is because all these 23 things or five elements, they are interconnected. So I really cannot take out the processes and use them in silo. I really cannot take out the principles and follow them in silos. None of these elements can be worked out in the silos in any of your projects. So they are integrated. They go together. They go hands in hand, and they are related to each other. Okay, so it is like an integrated web of the elements, and that is how exactly it is depicted. Okay? So when we learn Prince2, we learn about all these five elements. Correct? Then Prince2 tells us that these are the seven aspects, correct, or the areas under which your project performance will be measured. Correct? So your product will be the best in the terms of the quality, but then the project may have taken very high cost, like your cost estimates were completely had gone wrong. somehow the organization was able to deliver the product, but no doubt the product had the best quality. So now how will you say, how did your project perform? Was it a good project? The performance was good, you did excellent because the quality of the product was very high, or was it a trouble project wherein the costs uh, actually overshoot, or you took a lot of time to complete the project, right? Or many of the risks which actually happened were not taken into consideration. So the risk identification and risk management uh, you know was poorly managed. So how did you define how was the performance of your project? And Prince2 tells us these are the 7 aspects of the project against which the performance of your project should be monitored. And then as we go deeper and as we study the entire methodology, we realize that these 5 elements and these 7 aspects of project performance, they again are very closely related. Right? So we have processes to manage the risk. So we have the activities for the risk management. We have the activities for quality assurance, quality verification, validation, quality control. We have the activities which tells us how to uh, track and monitor the benefits. And at the same time, we have the practices to again balance these aspects and balance these 5 elements. So this is how I can summarize this, or I would say this is the summary of entire Prince2. When you actually go for the Prince2 learning, you will be getting into the depths of these 5 elements and 7 aspects of project performance. Right? Then, of course, for every best practice, there is a certification. In Prince2, there are 2 levels of certifications. One is the foundation, and one is the practitioner. Right? And this is how they are structured. Now, before I go into the structure of these certification examinations, let me put one point which is very important to understand. Okay, many times I have seen participants or the aspirants, they get confused. See, there are 2 levels of certifications. There are 2 different exams that you have to clear, but there is a single book of knowledge, or what Prince2 calls it as a official manual for Prince2. And that entire manual is applicable for your foundation exam as well as your practitioner exam. So there's no classification that, hey, these out of the 5 elements, these 3 you learn into foundation and these 2 you learn into practitioner. No, there is no such kind of uh, segregation, separation, classification available there. It is the entire official manual which is applicable, based on which you will have to take the foundation exam and you will have to take the practitioner exam also. Then why 2 different exams, and how do they work? The foundation exam will assess your skills to remember how much you can remember the terminologies, the the statements, the purposes, the definitions from this entire Prince2 manual. So, if you know, there's something called as a Bloom's taxonomy. The foundation exam is based on that Bloom's taxonomy level 1 and 2. How much you have understood and how much you can remember. Correct? Whereas the practitioner exam is aligned with the implementation part of it. So let's say when I'm studying Prince2, now I know how to manage the risk. What are the techniques for risk management? What are the processes that I must follow? What are the different roles those will be involved, etc. Now, when the practitioner exam comes, it is all about how I will be able to apply this knowledge in the real life situations. So in the practitioner exam, you will be evaluated or you will be assessed based on this implementation knowledge. So you will be given a real life like, but a hypothetical scenario, a project scenario. And then the questions will be, how will you implement, or is this way of implementing the quality uh, practices correct one or not. So every it will be MCQ based, but then the questions will be based on that scenario, and it will actually assess your understanding of how to implement Prince2. So please, I'm repeating, Foundation and Practitioner, there are two exams, but the syllabus, the official manual is common, and the entire manual is applicable for Foundation and Practitioner exams. So Foundation is a closed book exam, 60 in very simple format. 60 minutes, 60 questions, 60% for passing. All these are MCQs, multiple choice. Only one choice will be correct. There is no negative marking. There will be no confusing questions. A pretty simple, straightforward examination. Practitioner exam is an open book exam. So this is an online, now everything has gone online. So in your online examination window, you will be given access to the manual, the official manual. Right? So you can refer that manual. But the examination is structured in a way wherein it is a scenario based. So as I said, they will be giving you the hypothetical scenario, and we'll see one example just a few slides ahead. So scenario based questions will be there, which will all be in relation to how do you implement. Okay? So this is 2 hours, 30 minutes exam, 70 questions, 60% for passing. Again, it is MCQ, no negative marking, and no confusing answers. Correct? Only the difficulty level for the practitioner, for the questions in the practitioner exam will be higher than the foundation level exam. Right? Now let's come to the core part, the entire purpose of why you are here. You are here to understand how to prepare for these, be it the foundation or practitioner exam. How to prepare for this? So first of all, you have to register for training and certification. So we can do that with Knowlathon. There are so many team members here. You can reach out to them, and you can register yourself for the training and certification. So generally, the training and certification goes hand in hand, and most of the times people opt for both foundation and practitioner. But technically, you can take two exams separately, though not recommended, but you can take them separately. So once you register, you attend the training. Okay, sometimes it is 3 days, sometimes it will be 5 days. Like uh, if uh, uh, if you look at the UK European territory, then most of the trainings there will be for 5 days. If you look at India, Australia, Singapore territory, then it could be 3 days or 4 days. That completely depends on which institute, which geography you are taking this examination and training from. Then once you attend this training, once you complete this workshop, right, you have to refer the trainer's notes. So those will be available. Those will be given by the Knowlathon, and I am associated with 5 to 6 different training institutions, and I find Knowlathon contains the trainer's notes, the mock practice papers. It is of very high quality, very high quality. It is almost like the real examinations. So you have to study those notes, right? And then comes the most important part, that is you have to self-study the manual. Read the official manual at least once from start to end. Right? And I emphasize a lot on this because see, it doesn't matter whether you undergo the 3 days training or 5 days training. No training, no trainer will take you through the manual word by word. Key concepts, definitions, terminologies, how to implement. So a lot of discussion will happen. Things will be explained. Some activities will be done. Mock questions will be solved. Fine. That is going to prepare, the ground for your understanding, the understanding of entire Prince2 as a methodology. But unless and until you read the manual at least once, you are going to miss a lot of the things. Right? So you have to self-study. You have to read that official manual at least once. Once you are done with that, you go and solve the sample papers. Again, as I said, Knowlathon on their LMS, they have the best of the sample papers. You please solve those sample papers. Right? Now, it may happen that after attending this workshops, trainings, reading the manual, solving the sample papers, you may still have one or two doubts, a few queries. That is fine. Please get it resolved. You can get back to the, your point of contact from Knowlathon. They will connect you with the trainer, whoever the trainer could be. And please get your queries resolved. Once you get those queries resolved, you take the exam, the mock exam, again available on Knowlathon Learner LMS. And now this time you clock the exam. You take it as if this is your mock, this is your practice, this is you're actually taking the final exam. So you take that first attempt. After this, you will go. You will, like, I will recommend you go through the manual again, but this time you go through the key points. Like, there are so many tables for RASI, there are so many diagrams which explain the concepts and make it very easy to remember, easy to understand. So you go through these key points from the official manual once again. Then you take another mock exam, again available on the LMS. You may take the same exam once again. That is fine, and you will see the improvement, you will see the change in your understanding, right? And I'm very sure after this you will feel confident about the final exam, and then you go for the final exam, for which you will have to register on the People Cert portal, redeem your voucher. So that the entire process of registration and then taking the exam is also explained during the workshops as well. Right? Now, how did I come to this? The whole flow, the guidelines, the method to study. It is completely based on my own experiences and the experiences from my participants. Now, the days given here, they are just tentative, indicative kind of thing. If you can spend, but they are on the basis, or they are on the assumption that as a working professional, you will be spending, say, around 1 or 2 hours per day maximum. If you can spend 4 hours, 8 hours in a day, then definitely this period will get shortened, right? So this is the plan, and I have taken, as I said, I have renewed my certifications at least 3 4 times, and to become the approved trainer also I had to take the exams again. So I would say I have quite a good experience in taking the exam multiple times. Right? Then I came up with this method. I shared this with my participants, and I have heard back from my participants that this works fantastically. So this is also, I would say, kind of a proven guideline, or kind of a proven method to prepare for the examination. So you attend the training, you read the manual, you solve the sample papers, get your queries resolved, take the timed clocked exam, refresh the manual, again take a mock or the timed clocked exam, and then you appear for the final examination. This works best, right? And I'll take any of your questions towards the end of the session. So for the moment, let's go to the next slide. So after COVID, everything has changed, as you know, right? Uh, every certification exam is now online proctored exam, right? And here, what happens is, as we are here on the call, the proctor will be there on the other side of the camera. You will be on the camera. The proctor will be on the other side of the camera, and you can see the proctor. You can, sorry, you and proctor can talk. You two can chat. Correct. Uh, so once you log on to the exam window, there will be the proctor. Now, before you are logging on to the exam window, there is a registration step on the peoplecert.org portal, and then you will have to book your slot very carefully according to your uh, time zone, and whether you want it in the morning, in the evening. So you can select the date and the time slot available on the portal, right? Please be very careful because last minute rescheduling incurs additional costs. I think it is up to 48 hours before the exam. There are no charges if you reschedule it, but uh, if you reschedule within that 48 hours to the exam window, then there will be additional charges. Those will be applied. Correct. So be very careful when you select the date and time slot. Okay. Please ensure that you have the good and consistent internet speed, because what happens is your video gets captured and it keeps on uploading that video. So you don't want any internet connection drops during your exam times. For foundation, it is okay. It's a 1 hour exam, so still manageable. But for practitioner, if internet gets dropped in between, then that could be kind of disturbing experience for you. Though, if the internet gets dropped during the examination, then whenever it comes back, you will be able to continue with the exam from the point where you left. Okay. Then please ensure that at the time of the examination, you are in the closed room, possibly with one door only, because the proctor will ask you to keep that door, closed door behind you on the camera. So proctor wants to see you and the closed door on the camera all the time during the examination. Yeah, this becomes a little tricky because sometimes we'll have two doors to the room, like, or somebody is trying to take the examination from the living room, which is quite an open space. Correct. So avoid that way. Have a closed small room as much as possible, and keep that door behind you so that the proctor will be able to see you and that closed door. We'll have to understand the purpose of why they are asking all this. They want to ensure that during the time of the examination, you have no external help available. So you should, like, they will ask you to show the room 360 degrees. So they will ask you to rotate the camera, show the room 360 degrees. They will ask you to show the tabletop where you have kept your desktop or laptop. Correct. They will ask you to show you that you are not wearing any smartwatch. You will have to keep your phone more than a hand's length away. So the purpose is they are trying to ensure that there is no help available in any form to you during the time of the examination. Correct? Uh, Keep your ID card with you. Right? Keep the same ID card, like the one which you used during the time of the registration. Please keep the same ID card. They will validate the details. They will take a photo of the ID card with you on the camera. Correct? And as I was saying, no smartwatches, no writing pads, no printed material, no mobile phones, nothing. The practitioner examination is open book, but that open book or the access to the book is inside the exam window, soft copy. You cannot print the material and you cannot keep the copy of that with you. Correct? And the most important part is if somebody knocks on your door, if somebody enters into your room during the time of the examination, the proctor will stop your examination, and then it goes up to their discretion completely whether they will allow you to continue the examination at the same point of time, or you will have to present your justification about what happened, and then you maybe even charge a little extra money to take the examination again. So please ensure that there is no disturbance. Nobody comes and knocks your door or calls your name or something like that. Again, no babies, no kids, no pets, nobody is allowed. And people cert is quite strict about these rules. The proctor will ensure that all these rules are being followed. Otherwise, you'll be asked to stop the examination, and then you'll have to give a lot of clarifications and seek the approval. Maybe have to pay extra money and then take the examination again. Correct. So these are some of the things which you'll have to keep in mind. Earlier, there used to be the exam centers. So, the whole responsibility about the internet, about being alone in the room, about being the electricity, it was on the shoulders of that, exam facilitator. Now there is no exam facilitator. Now it is all up to us. So we'll have to take care of all these things. Right? Then I'm here. This is the way you will get the questions in the foundation. So they are pretty straightforward. You will get a question, you will get four options, and you have to select the right choice. In the practitioner, you will get a scenario separately. Then uh, you will get. So this is the kind of the scenario that you will get with a lot of information, two-page scenarios, and then under every element there will be questions again with multiple choice, and you have to select one choice. Correct. This is how the questions look like in the practitioner exam. Great. So I think I am done with my slide pack. If there are any questions, if anything you would like to understand, please feel free. I think the Q&A is open, right?
Yes, sir. Participants, you can ask your questions in the Q&A box. Sir will answer to them.
So just a question from my end. Anyone of you uh, have already taken the training or you know planning to take the training? How many attempts do we have, Jagdishan? Okay, so it is one attempt. If you want to take the second attempt, there will be some additional charge. And then there is no particular limit as such. But then if you like, if somebody can't clear it within two attempts, then there is some uh, cooling down period, and then you can take the next attempt. But trust me, if you prepare following the methodology what I explained, you won't even need the second attempt.
Any more questions?
Okay, I think Shraddha. Oh, okay,
Uh,
there's one more.
we have one more question. Yeah.
How long the certification would be valid? So foundation practitioner, both the certifications will be valid for 3 years. After 3 years, you will have to renew it, and renewal is see, as on today, the renewal is the same as what we do at the first time. But then people cert is I would say they are into beta phase, wherein they are launching something called as a CPD, continued professional development, uh, on the similar lines of what PMI has got the PDUs. But then that program is not floated globally yet, and there are still some ambiguities in that program. So to answer your question, as of today, it is a 3 years, and after 3 years, you will have to take the examination again.
Okay. I hope you got your answer. So, any more questions? We'll wait for 2 more minutes for your questions.
Shraddha, you're on mute.
Thank you. Uh, Thank you so much, sir, for the insightful session.
Thank you.
Like clearly, you have mentioned all the steps to do from the scratch, like from starting to end, what you can do. Then the detailed explanation on how to take a exam or how to take the practitioner exam, which is a Proctored exam. So thank you so much for the
So,
insightful and wonderful session. So moving ahead, if today's session for participants, if this today's session gave you a clarity on Prince2, how to take it, and all those things, you can take the next step by joining the certification or enrolling for the certification. So we are offering a special 20% discount on the Prince2 Foundation plus Practitioner certification. So you can check out all the details about it on the link I'm just sharing in the Q&A box. You can check out the link and enroll there, or otherwise you can contact us through other contact details which I'm sharing in a minute. This 20% offer is for some time only. It's not for too long. So don't wait and and take the decision to take your career to the next step. Other than that, lastly, I want to say if you have not yet followed us on the social platforms, please do follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whichever platform you're comfortable with, whichever platform you mostly use, you can follow us there. I have shared the links for all the socials. From there also you can contact to us, and if you have any doubts regarding the certification or any other certification you want to explore with us, you can contact us. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope soon I can see the Prince2 certified added to your LinkedIn headline. That's it for the today, and let's meet in the next session. Thank you, sir, again for the session.